Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, get ready for VNYE 2020. I know you're asking yourself, what's that? And the story behind the old Twisted Tea incident, and a game changer for Walmart returns, and no more free email in the upcoming year as well. Can the world, I don't know, is getting started off good, getting started off bad. I don't know. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Let's Start That Over Again, because I didn't like that at all. At all. And here we go. Back to the beginning. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, get ready for VNYE 2020 and the story behind the Twisted Tea incident, and a game changer for all Walmart returns starting this year, and also starting this year coming, no more free emails for those of you who have email addresses on a certain platform. So get ready for that as well. How are you? How are things going? Are you ready? Are you ready to get this year, kick this year in its ass? Are you ready to get it over with? Yes, you are. We all are. And I was talking to IT Dan, and I do a show in between the DeaconLive show, and the name of that show is This Going Somewhere? And I have a host on the show. His name's IT Dan, and we talk about darker topics and stuff. And I was discussing, everyone thinks that once that ball drops and the 0 turns to a 1, now it's 2021, that there's a little switch right now that says bad, and it's just going to click to good. And it's a little red light, and it's going to go to a green light, and everything's going to be good, and everything's going to be great, and everyone's going to have a great time, and everything will be healed, and rainbows and unicorns and salt and pepper on your sandwiches. I don't know what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is things are going to change. It's a new year. It's a new me. That's what we're doing. Well, here on DeaconLive, as you know, we do predictions, and we've got a bunch of your predictions, so hopefully you'll hear yours. There was a lot that came in. I can only pick a few of them, so hopefully you'll hear yours on today's podcast. And you can always, at any time, excuse me, you can always at any time contact the station or be on the podcast, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on the little Be Heard bar. A little blue bar somewhere on your screen. It's got a little microphone next to it. Opens it up. You talk right into your device, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, whatever you're listening to us on. And it comes right here in our inbox, and we play it on the very next podcast. You can talk about anything, Hey, what's going on? Ow. And I'm lifting my arm up at the same time. 2020 is trying to kill me. Now, a couple podcasts ago, I was talking about that I had a sore throat, and I found out that the trainer that came to because now, a little background again, 22 some odd acres. We have horses, chickens, dogs, cattle. Oh my, we've got the whole 9 yards. Now, my wife rides, not professionally, but she rides horses. So we have a trainer that comes out and does the whole thing, and, and teaches all the different techniques and stuff. She's been doing it for years. But he came out, we went to a clinic, and he was in the clinic. Someone in the clinic had COVID. And I'm like going, well, I was at that clinic, and he was at that clinic, and he was at our place, and we don't wear masks when we're out on, training and stuff, because we're literally 6 to 10 to 12 feet away from each other, sitting in the bleachers, watching the horses. So I thought I had COVID-19. No, my throat's good. His test came back negative, so he's good on that front, and I'm good on my front. But here's the thing. My wife and I, like I said, horses and stuff, we have a barn. We have a multi-stable barn, and then we have a washroom, wash area, which is basically 12 by 12. It's got rubber mats on it for the horses to stand on. You hose them off and clean them up from the mud, because they like to roll around. They're just like dogs. They're like dogs. They roll in the dirt and get all muddy and stuff. So you got to get that off their fur. And on the opposite side of the wash rack, we have what's called a tack room. And tack is any gear that you use to put on the horse, from the bridle to I know this is not horse talk, believe me, but I'm telling you what's going on. So the room itself we've built it from It's 12 by 12 with 10-foot ceilings in there. We want a nice big lot of area, a lot of room. We don't want a small little area. So we've been working on it slowly. So we put a subfloor in, then we put the walls up, we put the 2x4s up, and then we insulate it, and then we put the drywall up, and then ran the electricals and put the drop lights in there, and then cut out the bathroom and ran the plumbing. And so it's got water, it's got air, AC, it's got heat, it's fully lit, all the outlets that you could need. If I ever got kicked out of the house, I'd live down there. I mean, that's how nice it is. So, well, it's getting there. So our biggest challenge was to put on these double doors, these double French doors on the front of it, so you can close it in and, AC and all the weather and the implements and stuff. It's covered. It's inside the barn, but it's a room inside of a room. So part of this is putting the doors up. So we framed the doors out and plumbed it and hung it and screwed everything in and made sure the doors were all good and tight. My wife and I did this on our own. This is, just us doing it together and watching YouTube videos. And then when that was all done, she's like, oh, this is great. Now, this is the next step. The next step is, now this was Saturday. The next step is, after working all day on this, rebuilding the wall and stuff, we worked from about 11 o'clock to about 7:30 at night. I said, now, babe, now we got to put the paneling up on, or the cover on the front of the doors, because the 2x4s and stuff are still exposed. Okay, now it's getting late and it's getting cold. I don't know where you guys are located, but we're located just outside of Charlotte in a beautiful little town called Marshville. And on Saturday, the low overnight was, I think, 28 or 26. I forget when it was, but it didn't roll into about, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. So here the sun's gone down, and my wife and I are, cutting timber and cutting wood and sawing and chop sawing and routering and doing all that stuff. She got to the point where we had to turn on the big shop work lights, and she's trying to mark stuff, and she can't get out of her own way. I can't see anymore. My shadows, casting shadows. She's like, I'm done. I'm not doing anymore. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I gotta get this done, because if I don't get this done today, it's going to take another 2 weeks for us to come back to it, because we got so much going on. I said, babe, go up to the house, start dinner, and I'll work on this. Okay, don't, be careful and don't be long. No problem. So I'm working on it, and I get the, start the first panel, and I trim out around the door. And now I'm standing on an 8-foot ladder, 8-foot fiberglass ladder, and I'm, putting the pieces, sheet of plywood is 4x8. So I put the 4x8 up there. Now I still got another 3 feet up, because it's 12 feet in the air. So I'm standing on the almost to the tippy top of the ladder, and I'm placing the other small piece to match, and I'm screwing that in. I'm like, all right, man, that looks really, really good. And you can see all these pictures if you go to profitradio.com, click on the DeaconLive section. I've got all these pictures up there, and you can see that, and the video as well of everything we do here on the DeaconLive podcast. So I get it up there. I'm like, all right, take a break. I'm like, all right, now I got to cut another piece. This piece is going to be 4 foot wide and 34 inches tall. And I'm like carrying this thing up a ladder. I go to hold it up there, slips out, boom, hits the ground. Didn't break or anything, just fell straight down. I'm like, God damn it. So come back down the ladder, grab this piece of wood. Again, it weighs probably a good, and I'm exaggerating, probably a good 25 pounds. So I'm climbing up the ladder, and I'm put it up in where I want it to hold. I'm holding it there. And I'm pressing on it, putting all my might and all my force to hold it in this spot, because there's nothing holding it up there other than me physically pressing it up against the thing. While with the other hand, I'm trying to get the drill and the screw and the drill, with the magnetic bit, and you start screwing. So now I'm pushing again with my right hand to get the screw to go in, and sure enough, the piece of wood fell again. Damn it! Back down the ladder. Coming back up. Grab it, go back up again. I'm like, this is it. I gotta figure out how to get this piece of wood to stay up there on this flat, smooth surface while I put the screw in. Get up there, holding it with my left hand. I'm putting pressure on it. I'm standing on the third to the top step of this 8-foot ladder, and I'm pushing on it. And then I get the drill, and I get it going, and I press with the drill, and I'm pushing, and I get it going, and my eyes lit up. I'm like, it's working! And as soon as I said it's working, the ladder twisted and broke. Now, this is an old fiberglass ladder that I've had since 2006, 2005. The ladder twisted, and the little, hinge arms that close the ladder up and open it up, blew out. The whole entire ladder twisted. I came down. Now, I'm not a small guy. I'm about 6'1", about 260 pounds, 265, depending on, what planet I'm standing on. And I came straight down, hip, shoulder, head, back, boom. Nothing stopped me. Nothing slowed me down. Hit the ground. Boom. I am literally, first thing I thought was, my wife's going to kill me. She told me to come inside. My wife's going to kill me. Knocked the wind out of me, rolled over. Then you go in survival mode. I'm sitting there. Can't breathe. And so you start doing this, wiggling your toes. If I can wiggle my toes, that means I still have nothing's broken, right? Wiggle my toes, and I'm wiggling my arms and wiggling my toes, and I roll over on my stomach because I landed on my back. Rolled over on my stomach and kind of pushed up and kind of did like the cheating the girl push-ups, just to push myself up to get to my knees. And I'm sitting there. And I take inventory. I'm like, okay, there's the ladder. Nothing's broken. I didn't break the 2 glass doors that we just put in. I'm looking at myself. I don't see any blood on the ground. I check my head because I bumped it. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's no blood there. Kind of feel around, feel my legs. I'm good. I'm a little dizzy, but I'm good. So I quickly go, babe, can text her, can you run a shower for me? I'm thinking I'm going to sneak into the house and she's not going to notice. Sure, babe, no problem. I'm like, all right. So I'm like trying to get rid of the evidence. Take the ladder, stack it up, put it over there. Take the wood that I couldn't get up that's laying on the ground again, stacked it over there, picked up all my tools and stuff. And thank God I had the side-by-side down there with me, or I wouldn't have been able to walk. I wouldn't be able to walk back up to the barn or back up to the house, which is, a couple acres away. So I'm driving the side-by-side up, get to the house. I go inside. She's like, you want something to eat? I'm like, no. You haven't eaten all. I'm like, babe, I'm fine. I just want to take a shower. I said, I'm not doing well. Why? What's wrong? I said, well, let me take a shower. Took a shower. And I said, babe, I think I need to go to bed, which is probably the worst thing I could have done after head injury I'm sleepy. Now I'm dead. So she comes in and I can't lie to her. She's my wife. If you lie to your wife, then she's not, the one for you. So I said, babe, I fell off the ladder. You did what? I fell off the ladder. I told you not to. Babe, please. No yelling. Well, let me look at you. I'm like, all right. So she's looking at me and, all right, are you okay? Yes, I think I'm fine. I'm a little banged up. It's like, the stories I told you about me just falling on the ground, putting on pants. It's like being in a car accident. But this was a really, really high car accident that I fell from. So I said, let me take some, we had some meloxicam from when I had my sciatic nerve pains. Yeah, that's compound fracture on that one. And so I took that, went to bed, woke up the next morning. Man, it literally, everything it took for me to walk. I was afraid, if I have to go to the bathroom, what's going to happen? So I sit down and I'm watching this show called The Wilds. On the first episode, the girl's got like internal bleeding, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, babe, can you look to make sure I don't have any internal bleeding? She's like, how do you do? I said, is there any bruising? No, there's no bruising. You don't have any bruising. I'm like, okay. Next day, this is now Monday. Went all day Sunday, sat on the couch. Monday, any bruising still? No bruising. I'm like, all right, walking a little bit better. Finally, I'm good. I'm still a little stiff. I can bend. I can go to the bathroom. I can wipe my ass, all the important stuff. But yeah, I fell, 8 feet in the air, straight down on the concrete. Nothing, no dirt, no hay, just straight down on 4-inch thick concrete. And that hurts. All right, well, when we come back, we'll dive into the show. And there's a lot of things that's going to hurt for us this year. And hopefully we can all get better for next year. So we'll dive into the show here when we come back. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You heard some of the predictions there from some of the people that have called and left messages. When I say call and left messages. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You heard some of the predictions here on Deacon Live from some of our listeners out there, and the way you can be part of any show here on Deacon Live is to go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on Be Heard, and you can ask me a question. You can tell me what you're thinking or what you're going to do or what's going on, it comes right to my email box. And we play it here on the very next podcast. You can talk about any podcast, even past podcasts. We'll address them on the air. So there you go. There's a couple there. Now, with the new year and everything coming around, there's this one old lady. I don't want to call, that's me. There's this one old lady. Are you familiar with Baba Vanga? I believe that's how you pronounce it. She's a blind Bulgarian mystic. She has been She has been predicting stuff for many years. Unfortunately, she's passed away in 96. She passed away, but she made predictions all the way for the next 100 years. Now, if you're sick of hearing about the 2020, even though it's nearly over, how about listening to the predictions for 2021, made by blind soothsayer and Nostradamus of the Balkan, Baba Vanga. She looks like she could see the future. She looks like one of those creatures. Hold on, let me switch screens here so you can see her. She looks like a creature from some kind of, mystic movie, Dungeons and Dragons type movie. The Bulgarian mystic believed that next year, this coming year, would be the year that we'd see a lot of cataclysms and great disasters. Oh, great, here we go. So much for change, right? Apparently, 3 quote-unquote giants will unite, and a strong dragon will grip humanity. Now, you have to interpret these things in themselves, but that in itself just doesn't sound great. On top of that, she says, difficult times will come, and people will be divided by their faith. Well, broad brush, I guess you're going to paint with there. She continued by saying, we are witnessing the devastating events that will change the fate of destiny and humanity. However, it's not all bad news, is what she's saying. In 2021 will be the year we finally cure cancer. Well, that'd be nice now. And the day will come when cancer will get tied with iron chains, is what she said. Now, that's Baba Vanga. She's been predicting all this, and you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Like this is all nature and the predictions that she creates, it's kind of loose. Like something bad will happen to you in a white cloud in a dark night. And you're like going, well, what does that mean? And then you can just interpret, that's what she meant. Now, she's got all her predictions actually run to the year 5079, which she believes the world will end in 5079. So there you go. At least the world's not going to end this year, right? Again, the switch turning on and off. Now, a lot of times, people are all stressed out and everything. I have I don't know what, I wanted or I saw an ad about, heavy or weighted blankets. And I went and bought one. Or I say I went and bought one. My wife bought me one. Now, you say, what's a weighted blanket? Well, it is the weighted blanket, not to be confused with a comforter. To put it simply, the weight adds pressure to you while you're laying down. It makes you feel like you're being swaddled. This comforts the body and mind, making it easier to fall asleep and ridding you of stress you've built up over the day or over the year. The reason for the blanket works, the reason why it works is because it directly affects our subconscious. And I have one of these, and the one I have, I believe, is 50 by 60. And it weighs, I think, 15 pounds per square foot or so. It's heavy. I bent my nail trying to pull the thing over me and trying to, it's heavy. I haven't gotten used to, or I haven't gotten in the rhythm of how this thing's supposed to work. I don't use it as a regular blanket. I use it, I got my comforter on me. And then I kind of have the weighted blanket on top of me. I feel like I'm in the Hurt Locker. I got this big, heavy blanket on me. And it's not like sand, like you can't feel the actual what's making it weight, like a bean bag or something. It's not. It's made of very, very, very fine glass, but you physically can't like squish it with your fingers, like one of those OCD things where you just kind of rub it like bubble wrap or whatever. The reason the blanket works is because it directly affects our subconscious. When you were in the womb, you felt the conscious or constant pressure around you. It was literally the comfort from your mother, 24/7, blah, blah, blah. You ever notice how babies need to be swaddled? They get, or they'll get stressed out and cry. Well, this is the reason. The deep pressure blanket makes you feel like you're being hugged or swaddled throughout the night. When you're hugged, you feel more secure. The weighted blanket also restricts movement during sleep. Yeah, tell me about it. I put this weighted blanket on me, and I had like my pains and stuff from falling off the ladder. It was like throwing a dead body off of me the whole time. But for the most part, I have a 15-pound one. It utilizes, most of them are hypoallergenic glass beads, which helps the blanket conform more snugly to your form. So a weighted blanket, people out there having trouble sleeping, they're having just trouble going to sleep. This kind of helps you get into that mood. That nice. Now I used to sleep with two huge comforters on me. It was kind of the same effect. Like I never got hot. Run the fan. I'm from Florida. It's 40 degrees outside. Keep that fucking fan on. Don't turn that off. But the heavy blanket or the weighted blanket, I eliminated one of my comforters. But it's like I said, I'm 6'1", and the blanket's only 50 by 60, so I got to kind of pick what area I want it to lay on. They're expensive too. I think the one I got was like $100 or something like that. And the larger ones I think go for, the full sheet goes for $200. So if you need some help going to sleep, grab yourself a heavy blanket. I think that's going to be the new trend right now. So if you want to buy stock, here's my prediction. You want to buy stock in 2021 or going into 2021, whoever sells heavy blankets or weighted blankets, they're going to be the next new rave for all of us because we're still having problems. We're still at home, and a lot of us are having problems sleeping. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about what happened in that convenience store with the Twisted Tea. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You can get your predictions in still. I'm sorry. You probably heard. Fuck it. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You heard some more of your predictions. Hopefully you heard yours. And you can comment on the show at any time. And the way you do that, you can use that same method by going to properradio.com, click on the Be Heard section, and it opens up a microphone, comes right here to my inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. You can ask me whatever you want. Now, with being stressed out, being stressed out, there's a lot of people out there that turn to beverages, and some people turn to other unique ways of relaxing, like the heavy weighted blanket. Now, this company right here, the Barn Hill Preserve, is an animal sanctuary over in the little tiny town of Ethel. Ethel is in Louisiana. Sip wine with sloss at the Barn Hill Preserve in Louisiana. This might be the best kept secret in the state. September has just gotten leaps and bounds better with this one-of-a-kind event happening at Barn Hill, and you're not going to want to miss this. We are aware of uncertain times are limiting many aspects of life. While we continue to feature destinations that make our beautiful state of Louisiana beautiful, I don't know if you know about this local business that needs some extra support during this time. So if you've never visited the Barn Hill Preserve, you're in for a real treat. Located in Ethel, Ethel, Animal Sanctuary, located in Louisiana, and here's the address and stuff. From bearded dragons to sugar gliders to kangaroos and countless other animals and ambassadors are waiting for you to arrive. Even the otters, look at the little guy there, even an otter encounter that you get to swim with these adorable creatures. And it's peaceful to see these animals that just kind of relieve your stress with the things that are going on in today. But for the month of September, and probably in future events, the Barn Hill Preserve is hosting one of its incredible events. Sip wine with sloths. While sloths aren't certainly the star of the show, you'll see all sorts of animals and rare animals. Beautiful, all sorts. Hold on, something timed out here. You'll be sampling wines from across the globe during our self-guided walking tour around the preserve, getting a chance to check out all the adorable furry residents, including the sloths. So you can go out there and hang out with a sloth, and here's two young ladies and got a little sloth sitting here on on a pillow and stuff. So that's the Barn Hills. The Barn Hill Preserve over in Louisiana. So go over there, sip some wine with some sloths, and relax and hang out with them. It's I'm sure it would be a big stress reliever altogether. Now, one thing that's stressing out a lot of people right now is, I don't know if you've been watching your Facebook feed or your news feed or anything like that, is the Twisted Tea. Now, I've had the Twisted Tea before. I'm not a big, I want it to taste like something. Twisted Tea kind of like a, I don't want to say a girly drink, but some guys like it, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of the equivalent of, guys that drink the seltzer, hard seltzer. Whatever, get a real drink there. Well, they probably say that about me. Well, you drink a Miller Lite. But this Twisted Tea has taken off just because of this one video of a guy who just had enough. He just said, I've had enough, and this is bullshit. So here's exactly what happened. This is why you're hearing and seeing all the Twisted Tea memes. The video shows a fight that took place in an Ohio gas station that saw a white man shouting repeatedly and using racial slurs at a black man inside the store. The black man picks up a can of alcoholic iced tea, Twisted Tea, and smashed the man in the face. The two of them began fighting, and the black man pummeled him and the instigator and wrestled him to the floor. The video has been seen over 1.8 million times since Christmas Eve. So the man was smashed in the face with a can of hard iced tea, and it burst open as soon as it hit his face. You heard him repeatedly calling the gentleman, the white man, calling the gentleman behind him, the black customer, the N-word, over and over and over. And he says a lot of bad stuff to this guy, and the black guy in the hoodie says, you know what? Hey, don't call me that. Don't call me that. That's not cool. Don't call me that. He gave him plenty of opportunities to not call him that anymore. So he basically said, I've had enough. I've had enough. And if you want to watch this video, this is the actual true full video. You go to prophetradio.com, click on the DeaconLive section, and for every podcast that we do, we also have a live video that shows everything that we do here in the studio. So here's the actual video. Let's see, skip ad. So I'm going to pause it real quick. Make sure this is turned up so everyone in the world can hear it. Now, I do apologize for the language. It does not reflect anything that DeaconLive here believes or supports, but this is part of what's going on out there, and this is what happened.
Yo, mama. Yo, mama.
You're gonna pop him.
I live on 400 Oxford Avenue, 2 blocks away. And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna walk to you. I'm gonna walk right to my house for you, bro. Oh, God, I'm not trying to disrespect you, bro. I'm not. I'm gonna say all day, every day. Are you kidding me? Where you from? Where you from?
He's
Where
gonna
you
pop
from?
him.
So he's getting in his face, and he's like, "Where you from? Where you from? I live right up the street. You ain't from around here? Oh, F that." And,
You from? You from here? You know.
oh, he's like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "I'm from here." And he's like, "Get the fuck out of here. You're not from here.
You a clown.
You a clown."
God, you a clown. You from here?
So he's grabbing the Twisted Tea, and it's the big boy, tall boy. We call him tall boys in the biz.
Clown. What, you gonna smack me with that?
He's like, "Well," and he's holding it like he's getting ready to hit him with it, and the guy's like, "You gonna smack me with that?" Smack me with it.
Smack me. Smack me.
So he gives it a little flip, and it fumbles out of his hand. I'm sure he was trying to do the old flip, like baseball bat, flip it, and then pop him with it. And it falls on the ground,
Come on, yeah.
picks it up. That's it. Right in the face.
Yeah, you got yours, buddy.
Now they're tossing, they're turning.
Call me another.
He's like, call me that word again. Call me that word again. He's wailing on him.
Hey man, these guys, you learn this lesson, man. Ain't no reason to be. Call me another. Ain't no reason to find them out. Call me another.
Okay. The guy's on the ground like, okay. And here's what pisses me off. The guys in the background were like, hey, man, he learned his lesson. He said, no, he has not learned his lessons because he's still doing it. He's still doing it to this day.
Okay. Good? You good now?
You good? He pushes him like a piece of shit. What a piece of shit!
I smack, call me
See, still running his mouth.
I don't blame you, dude.
You're good.
The white dude, not for nothing, looks like he's got some problems.
Hey, I can do what I want.
There you go. So that's the video. So that's why you're seeing all the Twisted Tea things. You know, the funny thing is, all these things are happening. Like the guy with the cranberry, you know, he just wanted to skate, listen to some Stevie Nicks, and he takes a sip of his cranberry, ocean spray cranberry juice. Bam! He got what? He bought himself a house. They gave him a whole bunch of ocean spray stuff. He's doing good. I wonder what's going to happen with the Twisted Tea guy, because this is kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum. He wanted to relax and drink some cranberry juice. This guy literally used the Twisted Tea as a weapon and popped this dumbass in the face with the damn Twisted Tea for calling him you're racial slurs. We don't need that. It's got to start with us. So there you go. All right, when we come back, we'll get into more of the show and more of your predictions as well. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. There's a couple more of your predictions. Some are getting a little outrageous and stuff, so hopefully you heard yours. And you can be part of the program, and it's that easy. Just go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the Be Heard section. You can also email me at any time. That's Deacon at ProphetRadio.com, and there's a link on there as well. Make sure you follow our social contacts while you're on the Prophet Radio website as well. Now, videos, they go viral, just like the Twisted Tea guy. There was this TikTok. You ever heard of those guys? There was a video that was posted by a girl by the name of Zaria, Zaria. And she was doing a video or whatever, and she had a Metallica shirt on. So the other day she posted a video while she was wearing a Metallica shirt. And people were like, hey, you don't even like Metallica. Name 3 songs. I bet you don't even like Metallica, were all the response and all the stuff down below. Only 3 songs? Only 3 songs? How about I play you 3 songs? So Zaria, now granted, she's a cute girl. Hold on. Hold on. Zaria. She's cute. She's young. She's probably, early 20s. And she's looks like from, I don't know. How do I say? She doesn't look like she's, anyway, I'm not going to say that. She is sitting in her room, and this is her response video of her, people were saying, you don't even know Metallica. You don't even understand who Metallica is. So let's see.
Metallica under my last Instagram post. Thank you. I just made it on Billboard.
Hold on.
So hopefully they see it now. Thank you guys.
So this is her. She's playing the guitar. Young, pretty girl playing the and totally does not look like the Metallica type. So here you go. Not too bad. Better than I can do.
All right, can you guys go tag Metallica under my last Instagram post? Thank you. I just made it on Billboard, so hopefully they see it now. Thank you guys.
So there she goes. And she did a couple more videos. So here's another one. Hey, you know what? She's trying and she understands the band. Here's that one. So here's another one. Hold on. She's playing over the soundtrack, but still. And she's got a Van Halen shirt on. Hey, play some Van Halen songs, but you don't even know Van Halen. Well, you know what? It's don't. What's it? Book by its cover. I think there's a slogan there somewhere. So yes, that's Zara, Zaria, and you can check her out on TikTok and tell her you heard her on Deacon Live. So another game changer that's happening is from the mega store Walmart. Now, I bought my wife some clothes from Walmart. And when I say clothes, she would Should I take it? Let's take it. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Laura. I'm reaching out to you today because your company is not registered with Amazon Alexa's voice system.
Oh, God. Here we go again. Never mind. What was I saying? Oh, so I bought my wife some clothes. Not like dressy clothes or anything like that. She kind of wears some of my old T-shirts and stuff around the house, and I call it her daycare shirts because sometimes she'll wear the same one like 3 days in a row. You've seen the movies with, I almost said Phil Rudd, with, what's his name? Paul Rudd. And he's got, shit on his shirt. And my wife had toothpaste on her shirt and all that. But it's like these T-shirts that are mine. They're too big for her. And she's like, oh, they're comfy and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but they still have, they're manly shirts, babe. That's what they are. You look like a, well, I don't want to book by its cover. You look like you play pro sports, babe. So can you put on something a little bit more feminine? I know we're at home. We're in the house. So I went out and bought her some nicer, just not sweatshirts, T-shirts that are like long sleeve. They're thermal. They're dry wick and all that stuff. So I bought her a couple, and I guessed on her size. You don't want to get her. You come home with a 4X and she'd kick your ass. Oh, you think I'm this big? So I got her a size. She's like, oh, they fit. They're a little snug. So we might have to exchange them. Well, I got them from Walmart. Now, with this new policy that Walmart's coming out with, this is going to shake up, I think, and give Amazon a run for their money. A new Walmart policy will let you return holiday gifts or purchases at any time of the year without having to leave home. You heard me right. Carrier Pickup by FedEx is a free new service that lets you schedule pickup of an item from your home. You can use this. Hold on, let me switch screens here so hopefully you guys can see it. You seeing it? Are you seeing it? You can use this service with any item that you purchased online and it was shipped from the soldbywalmart.com. Third-party stuff, unfortunately, you're going to have to ship that back yourself. Carrier Pickups by FedEx is available for all customers where FedEx provides small parcel pickup service. Not the usual blah, blah, blah. Check out the free newsletter and stuff. All right, so here you go. Take advantage of the Walmart return service. Start the return at the Walmart website via the Walmart app. 1, schedule a pickup date. 2, affix the label to the packaged item. 3, wait for the FedEx driver to arrive. Now, here out in the French, we're on 20-some-odd acres. We're out in the middle of nowhere. The FedEx guys that run our area, they're like the last resort guys because they're running around in like rental trucks. The main guys that run the city get the actual trucks that say FedEx on them. The guys that run out here, it's either like a budget runner truck or something. And I see the same guy all the time. I'm like, hey, Charlie, what's going on? He's like, hey, what's going on? How's the show going? Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, see you later. And he'd run off. So if you don't have a printer, you will need to drop off the package at a FedEx location. This process involves selecting drop off at FedEx and as a return method. So when you get the QR code, take your package and you print out a sticker on it. And normally, like for Amazon, you have to do a return. You print out the label, you put it on the package, you got to take it to FedEx or something like that. This right here, as long as you've got a printer, you can print it out, put it out on your front doorstep, schedule a pickup, and FedEx will physically come here and get it for you. How about that for a game changer? How about that? I think that's great. I think that's going to boost sales because everyone worries about, that's the biggest thing. If I don't like it or someone doesn't like it, returning it. And Walmart just took it one step further, teaming up with FedEx, which they probably got their fingers in them somewhere anyways. So they teamed up with FedEx and they're rolling out this new pickup service. All right, when we come back, couple more things and we'll let you go. You guys ready for are you ready for VNYE 2020? And I'll explain what that is when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contact section, and while you're there, you can listen to the in-between shows of from Deacon Live. Deacon Live, we do a weekly show every week, once a week, and that's what weekly means. And then we have in-between shows. I do with another gentleman by the name of IT Dan, and they're darker conversations about things going on in his life and the way the nation has. He's an older gentleman, that affects his life and him taking care of his family and his home life as well. And it's called Is This Going Somewhere? He checked that out as well. Some are short, some are a little bit longer, but it's interesting his take on things that involves. I don't get too political here on Deacon Live, but I dive a little bit into that. So if you want that kind of aspect, go to Is This Going Somewhere as well. Now, for you that are sitting at home, just like Dan, sometimes you got to work from home, sometimes you can't work from home. But for those of you working from home, I don't know if you guys are 80s babies or not. There is... Do you remember the Game Boy, the little handheld thing? Well, it had a bunch of attachments. I knew a friend of mine that had the Game Boy, and then they bought the little the magnifier glass so you could see the screen a little bit bigger. And then there was a thing where you could connect to another Game Boy. Excuse me. And you could play against them like Tetris, and you'd send the bricks over to them. Then there was one where you can put the lights on it so you could see it at night, so you can play under the covers, so your mom didn't get in trouble playing under the covers. One attachment that was lost, I didn't even know this was out there. There was an add-on called Workboy, and someone had found it after 28 years. Your Game Boy could have helped you store addresses, manage files, and more. The lost, unreleased Game Boy add-on known as the Workboy has been discovered after 28 years, reveals an accessory that could have brought on a PDA function to your Game Boy, calculator, books, appointment, and so much more. Nintendo's beloved handheld device. A game historian shared his quest to find out what happened to this add-on. Not only did he track it down, the original creators behind the Workboy, to learn the story behind why it was never released, he was also able to find one of the only prototypes in the world that was working. So if you're looking at this on the screen here, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, click on Deacon Live. Here's the Game Boy, and it's got a small, I want to say QWERTY. You know what a QWERTY keyboard? Hey, Bert. A QWERTY keyboard is? That's what it kind of looks like. And it's a small little keyboard that plugs into the side of the Game Boy, and you can literally just sit there and type, and I don't know how much you can do. I mean, the memory of that has got the memory of a gnat compared to what we have today on our phones. The Workboy was set to be an official licensed accessory for the Game Boy, and it was designed by Resource Center and Development and produced by FabTech. It closed collaborations with Nintendo back in 1992. So there you go. If you've that'd be kind of cool. It's probably, the jump point of that. I wonder if you could have your emails and stuff on it. Now, those of you who have emails, here at Deacon Live, I've got an email. It's through the website, and it's deacon@prophetradio.com. It works through my service provider. I also have a personal email. My personal email goes through Yahoo, and I've had that Yahoo since the dawn of I could type on a keyboard or the computers were available for us at home. Now, I know I also have a Gmail account. I don't have a Hotmail account. I don't have any of the other ones, but I got the two main ones that are out there. Well, Microsoft and Yahoo still... Yahoo. Can I get a chocolate milk, sir? No, you get a Yahoo. Microsoft and Yahoo still offer email, but they are littered with ads, and you are encouraged to step up to premium version, which starts at $5 and $3.49 a month. So, and then you can respectively go ad-free. Now, I still use the ads, don't bother me at all. I'm not in there long enough. I just do a little bit of work. It's one of those, everyone's got a junk email. You just kind of throw that away. Now, Facebook and Google's DC woes won't change the new Biden administration that... Hold on. No, I got to start at the beginning. As of June 1st, Google will no longer allow users to upload their photos and videos to Google Photos for free. Now, here's the thing. My Google account, I've got a lot of stuff stored on their quote-unquote photo. It's part of your phone. If you got an Android phone, it automatically just syncs and updates. And my wife can go to it, and I'm like, hey, look for that picture. And hers is updated too. So if they're going to take that down, what's going to happen to all our memories? They're going to make us pay for it, or just download them now to, you're going to get an external drive. Got to go buy a 1 terabit or 2 terabit. And download all your pictures on that, but it's not as convenient. Google offers a 15 gig free storage for photos, But that also includes Gmail and Google Drive backup. They ask you to pay for storage when it starts. Hold on. The ask is that you pay for storage, which starts at $199 a month, just for 100 gigs of storage, which is fine. I mean, $2. I don't know about you, but Gmail is 41 gigs worth now. I have 15 gigs worth of photos, and Google Photos is 1.7 terabytes on the Google Drive. Sure, I can clear out my Google Drive, but here's the thing. The email is a living, growing thing. It's not just going to get smaller, no matter how hard I try to clean it up. Every day it grows. God knows I got a bunch of junk mail on there. So if you like Google Gmail, get used to it. You might be paying for it. So Microsoft and Yahoo, like I said, still offer free emails and stuff. But Google, starting June 1st, is going to start charging you for your phone or for your email address and stuff. So Gmail is going to go on there. And your phone, what's it going to say? Denied? Access denied. You got too much shit on here, boy. You need to take some of this off there and do something with it. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for is this new year to end. Sorry, I throw my pauses in there sporadically. But yeah, everyone's waiting for this whole new year to end, and we are ready to get into 2021. And one of the biggest things that happens is Times Square, right? You got Dick Clark down there. Oh, poor Dick Clark. You have Ryan Seacrest down there. Oh, Ryan Seacrest. And then you get all these live performers, and there's like 1.7 million people down there, and everyone's peeing on themselves and wearing diapers. It's just, it's a big hassle. But you're there. It's like Mardi Gras. You know, everyone's got to do it once, maybe. I don't know. I'd never want to go down there. But it wouldn't be 2020 if the largest, most iconic New Year's Eve celebration wasn't affected by the global pandemic as well. This year, New Year's Eve in Times Square will not be open to the public. So mark your calendars. Next day or two, you're not going to see anyone downtown. I don't know how they're going to keep you out of there. There might be some people meandering around. So instead, they are bringing out 1 million. So instead of bringing out 1 million visitors to Times Square to watch the New Year's Eve ball drop, organizers of the famous event are inviting everyone across the globe to join in what is going to be the first of its kind virtual experience that glamifies the experience. All right, that's not very easy to say. It is named, oh God, so stupid. It is named VNYE, Virtual New Year's Eve. If they put virtual one more time in front of something, I'm going to scream. You know, everything's virtual this. Get your virtual meeting. Get your virtual handshake. Get your virtual food delivered. Get all the virtual watch this. I'm ready to smack someone with a twisted T, is what I'm virtually getting ready to do. The experience brings Times Square to our mobile devices, our computers, and over-the-top way through virtual reality and augmented reality-based platform where everyone can customize their own avatar and explore the vibrant virtual Times Square. Oh God. So you're going to create your own this can't be good. How does it work? After creating your avatar, visitors of the VNYE can visit the 2020 Remembrance Hall, playing games, check out the observatory deck, watch concerts from Alex Boy, probably messing that up, and all these other bands. See digital art from artists from around the world. In the Time Gallery. Dance. How are you gonna dance? Put little ping pong balls on you so it can see you. Take in nature, experience zero gravity, and collecting celebratory confetti, and earn points for customize their avatars. It's a fucking game. Of course, the whole draw for us to visit the Times Square of New Year's Eve when the ball drops and subsequent and the fireworks and the shower and the confetti. That won't be lost this year. The ball will still drop in real life IRL. It can also be seen from a virtual world via live stream from 11 different cameras across the rooftops of Times Square on the night of December 31st. Revealers can also check camera feeds of New Year's Eve celebrations from across the world. So there you go. There's a special event if you want to see what's happening over in China. Make sure they're all doing safe distancing, as well as stream from NASA's all the way from NASA's International Space Station as well. Separately, users can bring the New York City skyline to their living rooms and wear Planet Fitness Father Time hats. Oh, God. They're getting really bad. New Year's Eve glasses with augmented reality. When the AR clock strikes midnight, fireworks will explode on their devices and screens. So there you go. You download the free app. How do I access download the free app? Maybe I'll put this up there. You can get it on your device as early as December 19th, so it's available for you right now, and you can access the virtual world for New Year's Eve. So there you go. I mean, if you want to virtual, isn't that what you kind of do anyways? If you don't go out, you just watch the ball drop at home on your TV, and you just kind of go, yay! And then you stick your hat out the door, Happy New Year! And everyone's like, Happy New Year! All right, and then you go back inside and you pass out. Isn't that what we do anyways? Sorta, to a point. Maybe. I don't know. It's a stretch. They're just trying to figure out a way to make money and stick money on it. All right, when we come back, we've lost a lot of things this year. A lot of very close things that are important to us. And we'll dive into this very, very sad story when we come back and wrap up Deacon Live. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contacts, and while you're there, click on the Deacon Live section as well, and all the stuff that you hear us discuss here on the podcast. You can also see it as well. We have a video of every podcast that we do matching up, so you can see us here in the studio. Hi. And everything, all the news articles and stuff on the screen as we discuss them in real time. Now, in real time, I got one more prediction, and it's what's going to happen financially for this upcoming year. And this very, very sophisticated, very well-renowned gentleman by the name of Larry Kudlow is going to give us his 2021 economic predictions.
It seems to me that you're locking down a lot of California and maybe a lot of New York. These are big population states, big economies. You lock them down, you slow them down. Doesn't that affect the whole economy, slow down our recovery?
Sure. It's really the only obstacle to the recovery. I mean, the economy is basically still booming, frankly. But yes, because of, I think, misguided policies, the lockdowns are killing small businesses. And that has, there's a knock-on effects to a whole lot of sectors. And the odd thing is, I mean, I'm not the medical scientist and so forth. I do sit on the task force. What these states are doing with, by the way, faulty metrics, they're telling people you can't go to work. In some cases, your kids can't go to school.
He's smacking
you
the
can't
microphone.
have indoor dining, even 25%. So they're driving them, Stu. They're driving them home. So there are large crowds at home, which is exactly what we don't want.
Yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Whoever the geniuses are doing this is completely unbelievable. You take this, open businesses and schools, and this economy is going to boom. By the way, the GDP now from the Atlanta Fed is still 11% growth in Q4. So it's a very strong economy, and the Trump tax cuts and deregulation is still in play. So all that's fine. But yes, there's some very foolish decisions being made on public health.
All week long, for months now, we've had economists, guests on the program, saying that next year, 2021, is going to be really strong. Several have said we get 4, maybe even 5% growth next year. They're assuming that the Republicans win the 2 seats, the Senate seats in Georgia. But they're assuming very strong growth next year. How about you? How do you see it?
I'm there. I think,
I'm with them.
4 or 5% is quite reasonable. I think, frankly, there's a lot of upside potential. Again, if the growth incentive policies put in place by President Trump remains, you're going to have a very spiffy economy. Underlying economy is very good. You're going to roar next year. absolutely roaring. By the way, apropos of nothing, I guess, if you follow profits are the mother's milk of stocks and the economy. Profits are booming, and they're being revised up almost on a daily basis. But
so there you go, and they put the financial report right next to it, and it's all red arrows down and stuff. But there you go. I mean, he's saying the economy's going to go good. It's going to go well. It's going to be booming. Let's get some kids back in the school. Let's get some people out there eating hamburgers and stuff, and let's get the economy and the small businessman back in the action. Not stay at home and look at each other and keep us in large quantities at home. So there you go. I feel better. Do you feel better? Well, speaking of like going out there and eating and stuff, this year we've lost a lot of people this year. Of course, the Emmys and the Oscars and all that stuff they do in memoriam. So I'm going to do my own very own memoriam here of fast food items that we have lost this year due to the pandemic. All the menu items of fast food chains stopped selling this year. This has undoubtedly been a hard year, which means many people turn to comfort food. Fast food can fill the void and a sigh of relief to get a good taste of your favorite dishes, especially the ones that have been around for a very long time, even when you're a kid. But instead of giving people what they want, some fast food chains nationwide decided to downsize their menu and put their beloved menu options on the shelf with the McDonald's pizza of yore. Remember that guy? Hey, it was a tough year for everyone. So to conclude, a year where everyone would much rather forget the most part, here is a list of delicious fast food items that were sadly discontinued in 2020. The Dutch apple pie from Hamburger. The Dutch apple pie from Burger King. Roast beef from Subway. I told you the story several podcasts ago, back in the beginning of this year, where I went in there and asked for my Subway club, and they said, well, we don't do roast beef anymore, so no more roast beef. Without much warning, the Subway removed this roast beef and kept it pretty low key. And that's what happened when they shut down all the meat processing plants. The rotisserie chicken at Subway. So your Subway rotisserie chicken, again, hit by the pandemic at Subway. Potato wedges at KFC. Well, I don't know if the pandemic caused that. They kind of sucked, and I think they were going in a new direction as well. Buttermilk chicken tenders from McDonald's. When you think of chicken at McDonald's, you think of McNuggets, probably come to mind. But the fast food giant's buttermilk chicken tenders are in a league of its own. So they have, unfortunately, discovered in 2004, they have taken those off the menu as well. All the salads at McDonald's, thinking of ordering a lighter entree or a side at McDonald's, think again. In the spring, salads were removed with items like buttermilk chicken tenders because of the 2 and 2. They had to remove them. So the pandemic, you take away the tenders, you take away the salad. So the salads went as well this year. Unfortunately, the grilled chicken sandwich at McDonald's left us, unfortunately, and basically everything at Taco Bell was removed from the Fiesta potatoes to the spicy potato soft taco are no more. The quesarito, they're gone. The triple layer nachos, the nacho supreme, also the beef fritos burrito, the 7-layer burrito, and the spicy tostada all left this year due to the pandemic. Also, the Mexican fan favorite of everyone is the Mexican pizza. Oh, damn it. Did I hit that? And last but not least, the Mexican pizza, the one that helped so many of us after a long night of New Year's Eve, the very next day, running to Taco Bell to soak up all the ooze that we have ingested on New Year's Eve. The Mexican pizza has been taken off the Taco Bell menu. And those are some of the items that we have lost this year due to the pandemic at our favorite fast food chains. All right, guys, on behalf of all of you guys listening to us, downloading us, we appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to let you guys get back to what you got to do. We'll see you. Another lap around the sun, whatever those cliches things. See you next year. All the other cliche sayings. My name is the Deacon saying goodnight. Happy New Year, and good night.
Wait. Come back. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.